do think the education system would be perfect because it's a nice chokehold or choke point, because all people have to go through
Yeah.
an education system. On the off chance that they're homeschooled, that's such a small portion. It's
Right.
and nothing's gonna be airtight in this.
Right.
So the education system is a perfect place, and then, like you said, if they're counseled throughout all of their young academic careers, then there's a mighty long record that states they either have the ability to work out their issues, and they're a stable enough human being, or if there's big red flags, if they're still drawing pictures of I don't know,
Animals neck snapped.
yeah, or talking about killing animals or weird stuff like that. There's big red flags, and they're not getting a gun afterwards.
I think too, if you're in an environment where
But do you think that's impeding on people's human rights?
I don't know. For example, I don't remember if it was the Dayton shooter or the El Paso shooter, but his mom had called the cops on him. For the guns that he owned. The FBI was tracking him, I believe, is what it was, too, for suspicious activity that was.
They did that with the Orlando the Pulse nightclub shooter too.
Wasn't the Pulse nightclub shooter a suspected terrorist?
Yeah, he was flagged or something. Yeah, that was.
That's the point is, look at these people were still flagged, were still under watch, and they were still able to commit these crimes.
And where did these people get their guns, though? Because the choke point would be then where they get their guns will have the same records access to the records they got.
I don't know if they were legally acquired. I kept hearing in the news that one of the gunners,
maybe just are more mass shootings legally obtained or illegally obtained guns?
Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland shooter, stole it from his dad.
Yeah.
The Dayton, Ohio shooter.
I don't doubt that there's many instances. I just wish I had the statistic on
the
which one
Dayton,
was higher.
Ohio shooter got his equipment from a friend.
But here's the thing: is that these people, again, sure they have this stuff, but again, if they were mentally learned how to deal with their mental stuff early on, or if they needed to be on medication, or if they needed to be this stuff would be figured out early on in life, and it may not even get to that point.
Well, what I was trying to get at is these people were literally being watched and studied by the FBI, and they still were able to commit crimes. Mm-hmm. What I'm getting at is laws and surveillance is not going to stop crime. It's, learning to help people and
That's
not
the thing. I think it's
be to people.
Quack.
Things like that. If we can just be better as a society toward each other, I'm almost positive all four of us were bullied growing up, and
Sam wasn't bullied.
You were the bully, that's why.
Sam went to a private Catholic school, that's why he wasn't bullied.
We still had the occasional bully.
You guys had
somewhere.
my family has a gold cross, your family has a silver cross.
No.
Regardless,
not like it.
Most of us were bullied. Most of us came out of it pretty darn okay. I don't think any one of us are trying to commit any crimes.
I think we came out of it okay because we had a support system behind us.
Which was what I was getting to. We had a support system with people who were there to help us. These people who you see as these shooters are usually loners, people who just have nothing, no support system. They might be a single parent family or an absentee parent family. One of the shooters recently had lived with his grandparents, then he moved out, and he just had no one
Now, classifying being a single parent family doesn't mean you don't have a support system.
that's not what I'm getting at. There's just not enough of access. That's not the right word, but either way, if we just start helping each other instead of just blacklisting everybody and. That kid that's sitting alone at school, he might be weird, but he or she might be the weirdo watching anime or whatever, but go befriend them. I can't tell you how many times, I've seen that when I had seen that when I was in high school, and it's just they're people too. I'm sure they just want a friend, and I'd go sit with them, and look at that. You can make someone's day just by simply asking, hey man, how you doing today? Or give them a smile,
I think that's just the biggest thing.
Well,
is taking the extra second to just be decent.
Yeah. Because it's so easy to fall into, like,
It's
I want to
easy
be
to be
popular, and so I'm just going to do what they're going to do, and, like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to fit in instead of, like, going out of your way because you think people are going to think you're weird, or they're going to be like, I don't like you because why are you talking to that person?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could be changing somebody's life. Like,
and there's no reason to go out of your way. There's
Yeah.
no reason to go out of your way to make somebody else feel worse, because at the end of the day, it doesn't make you feel any better.
No, it makes you feel worse.
Making them feel better would actually make you
exactly.
feel
Yeah.
Why don't people get that?
Because when you're young,
I don't
especially in high school, like, you're
easily influenced.
And you're misconstrued about, like, what looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because honestly,
being a
like,
dick
later
doesn't
in life,
actually look
like,
cool.
you look at people and you're like, wow, like, you're a... I'll obviously bleep that out. But, like, you are, like,
quack bag.
like, what
You're a
is
quack
wrong
bag.
with you? Like, why would you just treat somebody like that? Like, it's not okay. It's just, it's not...
But
nobody thinks you're cool when you're older and you're treating people like that. Like,
And the sad thing is,
just don't do it when you're
you just
younger.
look like a
Unfortunately,
jackass.
when people are in that position where they haven't been exposed to decency, and not saying that, you know, you have these people who they're shooters and their parents say they were a good kid, you know, they never did this, they never did that, blah blah blah. But when you're in an environment day in and day out, when all you're ridiculed, you're made fun of, you're, you know,
And I've seen it. It's endless. It's day after day.
and that's the thing, is it's not something that can just
What do
simply
you
be
expect
correct.
can happen to those kids? Like,
Yeah.
But it's
day
not
in and
something
day
that
out
can be corrected.
tormentation.
Like, it'll
You
break
know-
you eventually.
And when you get to a certain age, you can't just simply, you know, when you're 19, 20 years old, when you've dealt with that for 16, 17 years of your life, it's not something that's going to be corrected with a simple, I need to go talk to a therapist about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's something that is going to take years to reconstruct the way that those people not only think about themselves, but the way that they think about the world. And if you can maybe stop that from happening and kind of redirect that emotion or redirect that hatred or things like that, and just simply maybe get them to talk about it, get people to understand that, you know, you don't have to treat someone a certain way to make yourself feel better, because at the end of the day, you know, when you're 16 years old and you're making fun of a kid, you think back of it at 22 years old and you're like, wow, that had no impact on my life. That didn't affect...
But that affected the other person's
yeah.
life.
I was going to say, and the sad thing is it had, you don't know what kind of effect it had on their life.
Mm-hmm.
And if that can maybe be stopped at that certain point, where not only the people who are in the position of being bullied, but the people who are in the position of bullying have to talk about the fact of, why do you think that it makes you feel better to pick on somebody else that's weaker than you, or make fun of somebody that's bigger than you, or smaller than you, or has less than you, or whatever the situation is that you're being bullied for. People who are in that situation have something else that's going on. And it's been proven plenty of times that the people who are bullying have so many inner problems that they're taking it out on somebody else. I mean, projecting is the first sign of something going wrong within yourself. And it's if they have the opportunity to talk about something, or if they have the opportunity to express what's going on in their lives, maybe they won't be in the position to take it out on somebody else. And unfortunately, some people can deal with that and some people can't. And it's the people who can't who are left under the rug, and that rug gets so freaking high that you're no longer in a position where you can take care of everybody who's under that rug. And they get left in the dust, and those people who are left in the dust are the people who take it upon themselves to deal with the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
So, basically, here's the thing: is like, if you're a parent and education systems aren't there yet, and they're not providing schools with proper therapy or proper communication tools, get your child in therapy. Teach your child that it's okay to talk about things.
It's okay to be weird.
It's okay to be weird. We're all weird. Like, we're not normal.
Some are weirder than others.
Some are weird. Yeah, sure. Some are weirder than others. But that's okay, and you need to teach your kids that. And even if you think your child is healthy and they don't need therapy, everybody can benefit from therapy. It does not matter if you think
it's
you're
not a social,
healthy.
you know.
It's not a social. You're not a social pariah
If everyone's
for
doing
going to therapy. Yeah, like it's good for you.
And therapy doesn't have to be sitting down and saying, well, I have this problem or I have this problem. Sometimes it's just nice to be able to talk to somebody who has an unbiased opinion.
And if you're a teenager and you need to talk to somebody, don't be afraid to talk to somebody. You've got stuff going on, like, don't be afraid to
talk
reach
to us
out.
in the comments below.
Yeah, talk to us.
We love a good debate.
Yeah, we love a good debate. We'll talk back. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. But don't be afraid to reach out to somebody. Don't be afraid to ask your parents for help. If you're in a bad position, don't be afraid to seek out a therapist. Adults also, like,
there's always somebody.
Adults, if you need somebody to talk to, go talk to somebody. It's okay. It's not this thing now. We don't live in a society now where it's frowned upon. It is okay to reach out for help. It is okay to talk about the things that are going on. And I think that that's kind of where we end this. We don't know. Obviously, none of us are professionals. We don't know where to take it exactly. So we're just giving our thoughts, and that's kind of where we ended up, is at education. So be nice to people.
Go pet a dog.
Go pet a dog. Yeah, go pet a dog. They're lovely.
To wrap this up, to give a conclusion on this very touchy topic, maybe the right answer is not one solution, but a combination of different solutions. Like